All right, the essential question we're going to be dealing with in part two of scientific notation is how do I generate solutions by adding and subtracting numbers that are written in scientific notation. And so what I've done is we've created your organizer just by simply the 4 boxes, and you're going to see the 4 different things that we're going to do, these 2 adding and these 2 subtracting. But okay, let's look at the first one. The first thing I want to look at when I'm adding or subtracting numbers that are written in scientific notation are the exponents, because it's important to understand that these are the same. So if it's the same, I'm in good shape. It's super easy, be able to just add, and voila, it's going to be there. For example, here I'm going to take, I know I'm adding, so I'm going to take the 3 and add 6. I'm just going to give me 9. And I know in scientific notation, it's always going to be 9 times 10 to some power. Now, since they're the same, and the rule with exponents, or if they're the same exponent and you're adding, it just stays the same. So in this case, I'm just going to bring down the 5. So now my new solution is 9 times 10 to the 5th power. Pretty easy. Now, here's the catch to this. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and go subtraction. The same thing. I'm subtracting, same exponent, the 7s, the exact same. But then I see, okay, 9 minus 6, you have 3, and then times 10. And since my exponents are the same, just bring that down and make it 7. 3 times 10 to the 7th power. Fair enough, simple enough, right? Now, let's look at these 2. When we look at this, the exponents are not the same. So I've got a little bit of work I need to do. So now I'm going to look at, before I can actually add, I've got to be able to get this 5 up to 7. And again, there's all kinds of different ways you can do this. I'm just going to tell you the way that I think of in my head to make it as simple as possible. I know that I need to raise this 5 2 spots to be able to get it to the 7. So I know that if I'm going to raise it two spots, that means times 10 to the 2nd power. In other words, I need to raise it twice. So in that case, that's just going to give me 100, right? So 10 squared, as I know 10, and I need to raise it 2 spots to get it to 7. Well, 10 squared is 100. So all I'm going to do is divide the 1.4 by 100. And when I do that, it's going to give me 0.014. And just move the decimal 2 spots there. So again, all I've done is I wanted to raise the 5 to meet the 7. Again, there's 2 spots there. So essentially that's like, okay, I got to do 10 and 10. So and that's where I get my 10 squared from, which gives me 100. Just simply divide your base by, or the factor by 100, get 0.14 or 0.014 times 10, and then I can just say to the 7th power. So now I'll come back over here and I can say now 5.2 times 10 to the 7th plus 0.014 times 10 to the 7th. Now my exponents match. So now all I have to do is say 5.2 plus 0.014, and I'm going to get 5.214, and then I've made the exponents the same, so times 10 to the 7th. Remember, when I'm adding exponents, same exponent, it just stays the same. So when I look at when I'm subtracting, the same rule applies. So in this case, I know, again, I've got 2 spots here that I have to raise this 6 before I can really subtract or do anything else. So again, in my head, what I think is, I know, okay, I got to go 10 and 10 because I got to go 2 spots. So, and that gives me, again, 100 because it's just like saying 10 squared. And then all I'm going to do, again, divide the 6 by 100, and now I have 0.06 times 10 to the 8th power. because I raised it up 2 spots. Now, I'm come back over here, 7 times 10 to the 8th minus 0.06 times 10 to the 8th. So again, all I'm going to do is subtract, say 7 minus 0.06. Again, I'm just going to subtract these two, and that's going to give me 6.94 times 10 to the 8th power, because I was able to raise up the 6 to the 8 by dividing this factor here by 100.